Time for a serious conversation here, and Polar Bear will not be joining us. But Becky needs to make a decision regarding if she wants to be Amberlynn Reed's caretaker. Now, when Amberlynn Reed becomes bedbound, there's going to be basically 2.5 options. One, she goes into a nursing facility that can handle larger patients. 2, she'll be at home with full-time hired caretakers. And that's the half. And 3 is Becky becomes her full-time caretaker with a nurse coming in a few days a week to help. And I don't think either one of them has any concept of how stressful that's going to be. Obviously, the workload would fall on Becky in that case. It will be a 24/7, 365-day-a-year job with no breaks. Unless they hire somebody in so Becky can get a short vacation. And I don't think even then she'd be able to totally get away, because I'm sure Amberlynn would be calling and texting her constantly. So yeah, the first thing they need to do is have a conversation, because Amberlynn Reed is on the road to being bedbound unless she has a heart attack or a hypoglycemic incident that kills her. It's not enough to be family. It's not enough to be in a committed relationship to be able to take on that role of a full-time caregiver. It's tough. There is a trend with families taking care of their relatives called granny dumping, where they'll take granny to the ER for some minor problem. Technically, granny does not need to go into a nursing home, but the family abandons her at the ER, and the ER has to find some place for grandma. And that is becoming more of a problem as the population becomes older. People don't want to go into nursing homes. They want their family to take care of them. And they're just not equipped for it. They're not equipped mentally, physically, emotionally. You think, Mom took care of me growing up, but it's a whole different situation. And I hate having to use that word, but it does fit here. When it's 24/7, 365, you can't call the neighborhood 16-year-old to watch your kids for a couple hours, or watch grandma for a couple hours. I don't think they've had this conversation, because I don't think Amberlynn Reed, frankly, thinks she's going to be bedbound. I think she is still delusional enough that she thinks she's going to lose this weight, or lose enough weight where she won't become bedbound. But the fact that, she can't even walk around a mall or a Target without a scooter, and she couldn't even walk around the mall because she didn't have a scooter with her, and apparently they didn't rent it because Becky was the one that went to Spencer's and the candy store and I think Bed and Bath and Body Works, whatever. Basically, Amberlynn Reed needs to woman up and start the conversation. Because I think if Becky would try to start it, Amberlynn Reed would have a fit. But it is a conversation they need to have, and they need to have had it yesterday. These are expensive decisions. These are emotional decisions. And honestly, I think Becky would willingly step into the role of caregiver. I think she will put her own mental health at risk. I think if she takes the decision, no, I don't want to assume that role, she's going to experience several years of guilt. Because let's face it, if she decides not to take that role, that will be the end of the relationship. I mean, it will be. You know, and I don't like making predictions about their relationship. But if she's not going to assume that role, it will be over. Because I don't think, you know, even with the $100,000 Amberlynn Reed's earning now, that's not going to be enough for full-time care. I don't know if Medicaid would pay for full-time in-home care, which means if she ends up on Medicaid, she's going to be in a nursing home anyway. So, Becky, I am saying this to you directly. You'll have to do what's best for you. Other people are going to tell you this. Professionals are going to tell you this. Your family's going to tell you this. But you really don't know what you're getting into if you assume that role. You could be looking at 1 to 10 years basically tied to the same house and the same room as Amberlynn Reed if she becomes bedbound. Seriously, Becky, go talk to your counselor about this. I know you're in counseling. Talk to her or him. Because this decision can't wait much longer. Becky, I really do. I want the best for you. I want the best for Amberlynn. I want Amberlynn to lose the weight. But right now, it's not going to happen. It's not happening. And she's on the doorstep of being bedbound. And Becky, I know there's a ton of guilt with saying, I can't do this. But you have to take a decision. And if you decide to take that caregiver role, you need to go into it eyes wide open. You need to get some training in it. I know AARP has training for this. I don't know if they do it for younger people, but it's out there. You need, if you take the role of caregiver, you need to go in fully prepared. You need to make arrangements for you to have short vacations, because the stress of it could kill you. Becky, please. I know I'm a tiny channel and you probably won't ever see this, but please take this decision. Get the help you need before it's too late, no matter what decision you take, whether you decide to become a caregiver or not. But you've got to be ready for either decision you take.